He is Brazil's strongest number 9. He was known as the strongest center forward of the last generation. He was once suspected of not being human with his amazing skills. Throughout his soccer career, injuries have always followed him, but he has risen again and again to mark his career as a legend. He is the super goal scorer, Ronaldo, who is known as an alien. Ronaldo was born in 1976 in the slums of Rio, Brazil. His mother was a hard-working Brazilian woman who worked 2 jobs to support her family. But Ronaldo's father was the opposite. His father was not only an idle man but also a drug and alcohol addict. As a child, Ronaldo was very timid and afraid of the dark, and never dared to sleep with the lights off at night. In addition, Ronaldo also cried a lot. He was often bullied because of this. His older brother and sister often helped him to fight with those people to protect him. In Brazil, many children have a dream of playing soccer. Ronaldo is no exception. But other children did not want to play with him when he was playing soccer. So Ronaldo grew up in such an isolated environment. When Ronaldo was 11 years old, his father left home. His mother worked more than 12 hours a day to bring up her son. But Ronaldo was not an obedient child. By this time, he was already fascinated by soccer. He often skipped school in order to play soccer. By the 7th grade, Ronaldo even chose to quit school and focus on soccer. In 1989, Ronaldo was invited to the youth training camp by Flamengo, an 8A team, but at that time, Ronaldo's family could not afford the tuition fee of the camp, so Flamengo passed by the future Samba star. 5 months later, at the age of 14, Ronaldo joined Crusaders 8B. After 3 years of training here, he showed his superhuman soccer talent. In 1993, at the age of 17, Ronaldo was promoted to the first team and started to play professional soccer. In his first season with the first team, the young Ronaldo already had the calmness and dominant goal-scoring rate of a professional player. In one game, he scored 5 goals, dazzling his fellow players. Ronaldo scored 44 goals in 47 matches throughout the season, helping his team win the Brazilian Cup and the weekly league championship. His unparalleled performance attracted the attention of the Brazilian national team and European scouts. At the age of 17, Ronaldo was selected for the Brazilian national team at the 1994 World Cup in the United States. But at that time, Brazil had Romario and Bebeto in the front line. They were known as Brazil's dream duo, and they were unbeatable in the front line. So the young Ronaldo didn't get any chance to play. But during this time, he also met many of the top players of the national team and got a lot of useful advice. The process was very beneficial for Ronaldo. On the bench, Ronaldo looked at Romario, who was working hard for Brazil. He understood the responsibility that comes with wearing Brazil's golden jersey. In the end, Ronaldo won his first World Cup. After the World Cup, Ronaldo received an offer from the Dutch team Eindhoven, but he was not sure if he wanted to go. His older brother Romario told him that if he wanted to improve, he had to go to Europe. Thus Ronaldo, who was not yet 18 years old, joined Eindhoven with €4.7 million and officially started his journey to Europe. At that time, many people thought that the youngster just landed in Europe and needed some time to adapt to the rhythm of the European League. But after only 3 matches, he conquered all the Eindhoven fans. In the 94-95 season, Ronaldo scored on his debut. The second and third games were a screamer for everyone. At the end of the season, Ronaldo scored 35 goals in 36 games and won the top scorer in the Dutch Eredivisie. In the 95-96 season, Ronaldo continued his hot form from the previous season, scoring 12 goals in his first 13 games. However, he suffered his first major injury in his career. During the match, he collided with the opponent's goalkeeper and suffered a serious knee injury. This experience also laid the groundwork for his frequent injuries afterwards. Although Ronaldo missed a lot of games this season, he still helped his team win the Dutch Cup with his horrible efficiency of 19 goals in 21 games. At the end of the season, 2 European giants, Barcelona and Internazionale Milano, both took an interest in the superstar. Ronaldo chose the former and moved to Barcelona for a record-breaking €19.5 million. The Spanish Super Cup match between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid on August 25, 1997. It was also Ronaldo's debut for Barcelona. He scored 2 goals and added an assist to help his team win 5-2 and win his first trophy with Barcelona. He then scored 17 goals in his first 14 matches. Ronaldo quickly became the new favorite at Camp Nou. In one of these games, Ronaldo scored a goal after passing 5 men near halftime. Barcelona manager Robson, who was on the sidelines, was dumbfounded. After the match, he said, "I don't think Ronaldo belongs on this planet." From then on, the name of alien spread all over the world. In the second leg of the Copa del Rey quarter-final, Atletico Madrid led 3 o'clock at halftime. Just when Barcelona fans were losing hope, Ronaldo stepped up to the plate. In the second half, he scored a hat-trick and added a goal from Figo, creating one of the most iconic comebacks in Copa del Rey history. In the final, Barcelona beat Real Betis 3-2 to win the title. Unfortunately, Barcelona finished 2 points behind Real Madrid in the league and did not win the La Liga. At the end of the 96-97 season, Ronaldo scored 47 goals and 12 assists in 49 matches in all competitions, winning the Golden Boot in La Liga and Europe. His rocket-like speed, delightful footwork, and mature and stable style made people forget that he was only 20 years old. In December 1996, Ronaldo won his first World Footballer of the Year award. He is still the youngest holder of this award. His year in Barcelona was the most peaceful of his career, with no breaks and no injuries. It wasn't long, but it was long enough to be remembered by the world. However, in a national derby, Ronaldo exchanged shirts with his rival Carlos of Real Madrid. This action caused a big stir. The two sides also had a disagreement over the salary, which led to the discontent of Barcelona's top management. Since then, Ronaldo had no place in Barcelona. In June 1997, Ronaldo moved to Internazionale Milano for a record-breaking €27 million. This was the second player after Maradona to break the transfer record twice in football. In his first season in Serie A, Ronaldo adapted to the Italian style of soccer just as quickly as before. He scored 34 goals in the whole season of 97-98, leading his team to win the European Union Cup and second in Serie A. Ronaldo was also crowned the World Footballer of the Year, as well as the Golden Ball and the European Golden Boot. During this period, Ronaldo was recognized as the world's #1 player, and then his story in the national team was about to begin. In 1997, Ronaldo and Romario were the most powerful duo in the Brazilian national team. In that year's Confederations Cup, Brazil scored 14 goals in 5 games. Double R scored 11 of those goals. In the final match against Australia, the two Rs each scored a hat-trick and won the championship with a 6 o'clock bloodbath. Brazil fans saw their own team in such a heroic state, and began to have endless hopes for the World Cup in France in 6 months. But unfortunately, Romario will be absent from this year's World Cup due to a muscle strain. Although there is no double or combination, but Brazil's strength in the World Cup is still the favorite to win the title, is expected to be high. It is widely believed that Ronaldo will shine in the World Cup stage and lead Brazil to win the championship. After the start of the World Cup, Ronaldo really lived up to the expectations, scoring 4 goals in the group stage and the knockout stage, and successfully led Brazil to the final. But then an accident happened. 4 hours before the final match, Ronaldo suddenly foamed at the mouth and convulsed, and then fell into a coma. His teammates rushed to call a doctor to treat him. He woke up only 5 minutes later, although Ronaldo insisted to start the match despite the doctor's advice. But he was in a sluggish state throughout the game and suffered from cramps several times. On the contrary, Zinedine Zidane, who still had hair, was in hot form and scored 2 goals in a row for France. In the end, Brazil lost 0-3 to France and did not win the championship. After the World Cup, people believed that the downturn Ronaldo experienced would help him grow up, but they could not imagine that this experience was the beginning of Ronaldo's nightmare. After the 1999 World Cup, Internazionale Milano fans still believed that Ronaldo would lead the team to success. But Ronaldo was struck by various injuries this season and missed more than a dozen matches in a row. He scored 15 goals in 28 matches throughout the season and finished 8th in the league table. The 99-00 season was a season of great expectations for Internazionale Milano fans. Internazionale Milano had 2 stars, Pacquiao and Vieri. These two, together with Ronaldo, formed a front line that would have frightened the whole continent of Europe. But unfortunately, Ronaldo suffered 2 major injuries in this season, which almost ended his career. In the match against Lecce in November 1999, Ronaldo felt discomfort in his knee after a ball, and was diagnosed with a broken bone after the match. He was then diagnosed with a fractured cartilage in his knee. This injury kept Ronaldo out of action for 5 months. On April 12, 2000, Ronaldo returned to the field of play. 6 minutes into the match, Ronaldo fell to the ground again and was carried off the field. Internazionale Milano then informed that Ronaldo's bone was broken again. The doctor even said that it was the worst break he had ever seen and that the situation was very bad. After the surgery, his knee swelled up as big as a soccer and it took 3 or 4 syringes to extract the blood. While in the hospital, the pain caused Ronaldo to sob uncontrollably. He also doubted whether he would be able to continue his soccer career. This injury kept Ronaldo away from the soccer field for 1 year and 5 months. During the 00/01 season, Ronaldo's injury caused discontent among Internazionale Milano fans. The fans thought that Ronaldo was not doing his job with a high salary because he had been visiting nightclubs several times during his recuperation. At this time, Ronaldo became a street rat in the eyes of Internazionale Milano fans. Ronaldo came back from injury in the 01/02 season. At that time, the manager of Internazionale Milano was the Argentinian Cooper. His most famous point is his strict management. Ronaldo was a thorn in the side of the manager, who was always unrestrained. As a result, Ronaldo was targeted in every way in the team, including not being allowed to train with his teammates and not being allowed to participate in national team matches. All these set the stage for Ronaldo's departure to Real Madrid. The 2002 World Cup in Korea and Japan was approaching. Brazil was not a favorite to win the World Cup before the start of the tournament. In the previous World Cup qualifying rounds, the Brazilian team had a mediocre record and was once on the verge of exclusion. So Brazil chose to make a temporary change. Scolari as Brazil manager. The coach's coaching style has been controversial. He made several bold decisions, such as reusing Romario in the World Cup qualifiers, but then he kicked him out of the team because of his lack of discipline. In addition, the coach also chose Ronaldo as the core of the team. This caused a big stir at that time because Ronaldo had just suffered a serious injury and had only played 10 games this season. People thought that he was no longer the same alien. At the beginning of the World Cup, Brazil was unstoppable. The first match of the group stage against Turkey. Turkey scored the first goal in the first half. Ronaldo started to counterattack at the beginning of the second half. He received a cross from the side and scored the equalizer. This goal was the best answer to those doubts. Then Rivaldo scored a penalty in the 87th minute to beat Turkey 2-1. Brazil gained 3 valuable points. The next 2 group games were a 4 o'clock victory over China, who were entering the World Cup for the first time, and a 5-2 victory over Costa Rica. Brazil, which was not favored before the tournament, won the 3 group games with 11 goals. Among them, Ronaldo scored 4 goals alone, making people exclaim that the familiar alien is back. Then, in the 1/8 final, Brazil played against Belgium. In the 69th minute, Rivaldo broke the deadlock and put his team ahead. Brazil then intercepted the ball in midfield and gained possession. After that, Claiborne crossed the ball into the box and Ronaldo scored the winning goal to win the match with 2 o'clock against Belgium. With the strong teams of Argentina, France and Portugal eliminated, people's attention was focused on the quarter-final match between Brazil and England. This match was the only match in which Ronaldo did not score a goal, and it was also the match in which Ronaldinho became world famous. Owen opened the scoring for England in the 23rd minute of the match, and Brazil, trailing by 1 goal, adjusted its strategy to attack England. Before the end of the half, Ronaldinho assisted Rivaldo to equalize the score. Nearly 5 minutes into the second half, Ronaldinho scored a stunning free kick. Brazil defeated England 2-1 to reach the semifinals of the Golden Generation. At that time, many media were reporting Ronaldo's health problems, so Ronaldo simply cut a strange haircut to divert attention. And it worked. The next day, the newspapers were all about his haircut. June 26, 2002 World Cup semi-final match between Brazil and Turkey. The first half was a long-time stalemate between the two sides, but the second half began with Brazil seizing the opportunity to counterattack Ronaldo's surprise attack. On the other hand, Germany finally defeated South Korea with the referee's protection and advanced to the final. Both sides will compete for the Cup of Power in Yokohama, Japan. After the match started, both sides came and went. Ronaldo missed 3 great chances. Germany, on the other hand, adopted a strategy of passing from the side and shooting from outside the box, but failed to break the deadlock in the first half. In the 67th minute of the match, Rivaldo suddenly launched a shot from outside the box, and the opponent's goalkeeper took off his shot. 20 minutes later, Kleberson's cross from the side was deliberately missed by Rivaldo, and Ronaldo gave Germany a fatal blow. With the halftime whistle sounding, Brazil successfully defeated Germany 2 o'clock to win the Cup of Hercules, with 18 goals in 7 games. Brazil won the World Cup with a perfect record. Ronaldo scored 8 goals and won the Golden Boot. After the World Cup, the conflict between Cristiano Ronaldo and Internazionale Milano's manager, Marco Cooper, broke out. But this time, the team management chose to side with Cooper's side. Ronaldo had to look for his next home. He attracted the attention of Barcelona, Arsenal, Manchester United and other big giants. But in the end, he chose Real Madrid. On August 31, 2002, Ronaldo moved from Internazionale Milano to Real Madrid for €45 million. After he joined, Real Madrid's luxurious Galacticos ship shocked Europe. They had the world's strongest midfield and forward line. But Real Madrid didn't have the performance that the world expected. After playing for Real Madrid, Ronaldo changed his style of play to protect himself from injuries. He started to use his running style to capture the chances of scoring goals. But that didn't stop Ronaldo from returning to the top. Ronaldo scored a hat-trick to help Real Madrid eliminate Manchester United 6-5 on aggregate in the quarter-final of the 02/03 Champions League. Ronaldo conquered the Manchester United fans with a stunning performance. When he was substituted, the whole crowd stood up and gave him a huge applause. Although Real Madrid was eliminated in the semi-final against Juve, Ronaldo helped his team win the final round of La Liga and won the 02/03 season. This was also his only European top league trophy. This season, Ronaldo played 44 games and scored 30 goals, helping Real Madrid to win the Spanish Super Cup and Toyota Cup. With his outstanding performance in the World Cup, Ronaldo won the Golden Ball Award and the World Football Player of the Year again. Since Beckham joined the team in 2003, Real Madrid has been acquiring mainly attacking players, which has caused dissatisfaction among the defensive players in the team. Makelele moved to Chelsea in August 2003. This, coupled with the revival of Barcelona with the arrival of Ronaldinho, led to a sharp decline in Real Madrid's performance in 2004. Ronaldo suffered a 13-game goal drought in the 04/05 season, and was often the subject of off-field gossip in the media. In the news, Real Madrid defender Elguera said that Beckham, Zinedine Zidane and Figo were all examples of professional players, while Ronaldo and Carlos were both players who loved to have fun. They would go and indulge themselves after every win. In one of Ronaldo's birthday parties, the number of female companions could fill the whole bus. These news made Ronaldo's image diminish greatly. Although Ronaldo scored 3 goals for Brazil in the 06 World Cup and broke the World Cup goal record, the entire Brazilian team had a very poor understanding and was eventually eliminated by France in the quarterfinals. This is also Ronaldo's last journey in the World Cup. After the World Cup, there was a big change in Real Madrid, and the team manager was Capello, the famous Italian manager. The manager focused on the discipline of the players. So many of the biggest names in the news lost their positions. Ronaldo was no exception. As a result, in January 2007, Ronaldo could no longer tolerate this treatment and left Real Madrid for AC Milan for €7.5 million. Ronaldo's departure also announced the complete disintegration of the Galacticos. Florentino's one-star-a-year plan ended in failure. Ronaldo's transfer sparked a heated debate among Milan fans. Many fans were not optimistic about Ronaldo's performance because of his fattening body and previous disciplinary problems. But Ronaldo seemed to be a different person after he came to AC Milan. Not only did he resume training actively, but he also made less news off the field. This has impressed everyone. Unfortunately, Ronaldo played for Real Madrid in the first half of the season, so he was unable to play in any of the remaining Champions League matches this season. In the end, AC Milan won the Champions League final against Liverpool. This is the closest Ronaldo has ever come to winning the Champions League in his career. Although he had regrets, he was able to establish himself at AC Milan and his form was picking up. But it didn't last long, and injury struck again. On February 13, 2008, Ronaldo came on as a substitute for only 1 minute. He fell in the penalty area and was carried off the field. After the match, he was diagnosed with a ruptured cruciate ligament in his left knee. At that time, it was widely believed that Ronaldo would retire from the game, but he did not give in to defeat. In interviews, he repeatedly said that he would definitely return to the soccer field. AC Milan officials also said they were willing to give him a place in the team, but Ronaldo's personality was too difficult to control. He was involved in a sex scandal involving a siren. This led to AC Milan announcing the termination of their cooperation. Since then, Ronaldo has ended his career in Europe. After saying goodbye to Milan, Ronaldo didn't want to retire. he continued to try to find a next home in South America. In December 2008, Ronaldo announced that he was joining Corinthians in the Brazilian Liga. After his comeback, he played well and won the São Paulo State League and the Copa do Brasil for the team. In February 2011, during a training session, Ronaldo strained his thigh once again. The injury forced the alien, who had already undergone 4 surgeries on his leg, to leave the soccer field forever. On February 14, 2011, Ronaldo announced his retirement from football. At a press conference, Ronaldo revealed that he had suffered from hypothyroidism 4 years ago at AC Milan, which had led to his physical deterioration. Ronaldo is considered to be one of the strongest goal scorers in history and also the strongest number 9 in Brazil's history. Throughout his career, Ronaldo has always been affected by injuries and illnesses, but he never gave up. He is one of the few players who played for Milan, Internazionale Milano, Real Madrid and Barcelona at the same time. He is a giant who has won the World Football Award 3 times and the Ballon d'Or twice. He is a sad hero who won the World Cup twice but never played in the Champions League. At the same time, he is also a great warrior who has spent his life fighting against injuries and has written miracles countless times.